Friends, today I have a knife that I've waited a long time to add to my collection. But after unboxing, well, I'll be honest with you, I think Case kind of missed the target when they made this knife. So let's check it out here. What we have is the light purple bone Deep Canyon Jig Gunstock. Alright, now this knife was made on 8/14 of 2020. There's the date right there. Check it out. And it's model number 27164. And it's in that older style American flag box. And we're going to get all up and close and personal with this knife. But if you would, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it to any of your friends who might like similar knife content. That really helps the channel out. Alright, let's go ahead and open this box up and check out this Case Gunstock. See what it's all about. I've never had my hands on one of these before. Comes with our typical paperwork. Got the little card here. Oh, check that out. We got a little axe there. Pocket Hunter. I got the mini Pocket Hunter. That's cool. And that's at Kickstart. You know, but this goes back to back in 2020. So these knives have been around for a while, but they were brand new at that time. That's what's cool about the cards and the date on the box and why I like to keep them together. Kind of tells you what was going on at Case at the time that the knife was made. So let's get this tissue paper off the knife, stick it back in the box here, and let's check out this light purple bone Deep Canyon Jig Gunstock. Alright, get that box out of the way. Alright, so this knife is 3 7/8 inches closed. Comes in at about 3.5 ounces. It's got those bone handles with the deep jigging. It's got nickel silver bolsters with the Case emblem in there, and the ends are pinched, which makes it nice. It's got this kind of gunstock shape here. That's hence the name Gunstock. And bit and finish looks really nice. You know, no gaps here on the back. Got those brass liners. Got the nice white bone contrast with that deep purple. I think it's gorgeous. A little bit less purple, a little less jigging on this side. That's just because they have to taper it in on both ends to meet the bolsters there. But I like it. I think it looks good. I think they did a nice job on the fit and finish. Let's check out the blade centering. Well, that main blade, that big one, is a little bit off to the one side there. You know, we might be able to fix that with our break-in. So we'll check that out here in a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's rubbing. You can see it a little better here. That smaller blade, well, it's right there in the center where it's supposed to be, so no problems there. That big blade is 2.5 inches. Alright, it's not real deep, so it's not going to be a great slicer, but not a bad looking spear point blade. There's our Tang stamp. There's our Case and the bolster there. Look at that. We have pretty much a full flat grind on that blade. Got that elongated nail nook. Look at that. Look how deep it is. We have a swedge down here at the spear point. Kind of a short little swedge. It's not as rounded as some of the other knives I call Case knives out on, you know, and how much I like their rounded swedges. But it is polished. It's slightly rounded, you know, more so than other brands do. Got a real nice sharp point to it. And the second blade here is 1 7/8 inches. Alright, it's pretty much a repeat of the big knife, just at a miniature version of it. It's got that same swedge, that same point, the same elongated nail nick there. You know, same thing, other than they whittle down the blade to make it smaller. We'll talk about that more later. Here's the other Tang stamp there, if you want to see that. But yeah, good fit and finish. And also a very pretty knife, if I do say so. So let's check out this Walkaround. Alright, there's no standoff, but we do have a nice snappy main blade here. There, you hear that? So, no issues there. Probably a little bit on the heavy side. But not bad. Just needs a little oil. Been sitting around a while. I'll get some of my One Angry Kid knife oil on there. Lube that up real good after I reprofile these blades. This little one here, that one, a little on the stiff side, I will say. Yeah, but I am gonna do my little wear-in trick there and see if I can get that big blade centered a little better. I want to do that before I open and close it too much here. But yeah, pretty knife, no complaints on the fit and finish and the looks of the knife. But I like that purple. Man, it looks good. So next, what I want to do here is lay it out next to some other knives. There's my big back pocket knife. There's a copper lock. That's a canoe. Haven't really showed that off too much. There's a large Stockman. Here is a Sodbuster Junior, and here's my medium Stockman. Alright. I think the knife is probably the closest in size, and also the reason I bought it is the Sodbuster Junior, and I recently got this Sodbuster Junior purple in this tribal jigged bone. Alright, check out that video if you haven't seen it. It's a beautiful knife. I show it off a lot more. I take it outside and get some outside photos of it as well in the sunlight. But this has that same deep purple. It's just a different jig, and because they have to whittle it, because what I mean by whittle is they have to taper it down to the bolsters because it's wider in the middle and narrower at the ends. You see the purple and the white bone. You see more of the white bone, where on the Sodbuster Junior, it's the same thickness all the way down. So the only way to see the white bone is when you look at it from the side. But from the flats, it's all solid purple. But this one has the tribal jigging. Look at that. Isn't that tribal jigging beautiful? That is something that's hard to find. But that one there is the deep canyon jigged. Alright, so told you at the beginning they kind of missed the target, and I guess it's about time I explain myself. So this knife, I think, has a perfect handle. That 3 7/8 is a great shape, great size. It's got a coffin shape to it, which I really like. But I'm not real happy with these blades. Alright, I mean, this spear point's a little useless. It's not going to be a great slicer. I mean, it's a good looking knife. But also, you gave me 2 spear points. You know, what do I need a second spear point for? Pick my nose with it? Come on. So you got 2 blades here that really aren't that useful, aren't that slicing. You could have gave me a lot better. And this handle, this thing would hold a heck of a lot better blades inside there. You know, if you look at how big that handle is and how deep and how much room's in there, you could have really, Case, that's who I'm talking to, Case, you could have stuck a lot better blades inside this knife. I went ahead and made some little paper cutouts so I can show you what I'm talking about. This is the same knife that's in there. Look how much room is in that handle they're not utilizing. That paper is parallel to the blade that's inside there. This knife, this is the large Stockman. Look at that big clip point. There is plenty of room in the chassis of this knife to put a big old blade like that Stockman in there. And that would have been a lot better than that spear point. You know? I don't know what that spear point is good for, but piercing things. You know? Look how much more useful that big old clip point would have been with a little bit of belly out there at the tip. You know, that spear point right there, I don't know, what are you going to do, puncture a can of beans? You can scan a rabbit with that clip point. Alright, but then once again, you got another spear point in here. and not a great spear point shape. As I said, they're not very slicey. They're very thick stock compared to the depth. And here's a paper cutout that represents that little one. That thing barely even fills up that side of the knife. That's perfectly laying on there. So that whole side over there, you could have stuck a Warncliffe blade like this mini Trapper Warncliffe I have right here. This is a great blade. I've been carrying this and I love that Warncliffe. It is so useful. So much more useful than that that little spear point. Look at that. It's a useless blade. What are you gonna punch a hole in a piece of leather or something with it? You know, having a Warncliffe in there would have been a lot more useful. And like I said, you know, let's close this up and look at that. Look how much room is unused inside that chassis. It's almost like they threw some blades in there they had left over from another project. You know, a third of the knife chassis is not even used right there. It's vacant, empty. You know, you got all that territory down there that could be holding a lot better, nicer knife. So, like I said, Case, you missed the target on this one. This could have been a great knife. It's a pretty knife, but yep. Well, that's my opinion on this knife. I love the purple. I don't like the blades. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you subscribe to the channel. And other than that, be safe out there, friends.